hear from you some your introduction about yourself.
Okay. Okay. So right now in Genpact for last 10 years, Malika.
Yeah.
Prior to this, I worked with PostSoft. There, I think I worked for almost 5 years, and prior to that, I worked with another company in Trivandrum. And basically, I started my career with industrial automation, then moved on to the
IT.
software side of it, IT side of it, and then going on kind of thing. Most of the time, pretty much in quality area, majority of the time.
How do you read your name? Harish Punreddy.
Harish, you can call me Harish.
Okay.
Yeah. So until others join, actually, Harish, how do you see the difference between the way industry looks at quality in IT versus quality in any other industry, with your experience?
Basically, actually, this is a very interesting topic. When we are talking about the manufacturing other areas, I think things are very clear kind of thing. The value is also very clear. But when we are talking about the software industry, it is always, at least I experienced a lot of questions like, is the quality needed? Okay, what is the quality team doing? Is it just only audit? Is it only process definition? So these are the questions always we experience. But the other industry, it is not like that. It is pretty much clear what they are doing, why they are doing, all that. It is very much acknowledged and it is very clear. Especially software, we struggle a lot to define that role and also justify what we are doing.
100%. I totally agree with you.
So sometimes, in fact, see, there was a time where we were talking about this ISO was there, like Prakash Rao was there. I think, sir, we met in PostSoft long back. I think
you were in PostSoft.
PostSoft. You were doing consulting for
Which
PostSoft.
year? Because your name is also very familiar to me.
Yeah.
PostSoft and
2000, I think roughly around 6-7, I think 2006-7. Those period, I think one or two interactions we had.
Srikanth Reddy.
Yes. Srikanth Reddy was there and used to do the ISO consulting kind of work.
Yeah.
Your
face is quite familiar to me.
Yeah.
They were in supply chain. You were in that. I think which part of supply chain?
No. I joined this quality team only. Mahbub Hussain was there. I was reporting to Mahbub Hussain. So I was reporting to, basically he used to head the quality. Basically, they used to call technology and process kind of thing. So I used to report to him kind of thing. Yeah.
It was taken over by somebody else now. It's no more PostSoft.
Yes. No more PostSoft. Kivil, they call it, or something. Blue Jack, they call it. I think, I don't know. I lost the track of it. It was so many names.
From PostSoft, you came to Genpact?
From PostSoft, I came to Genpact.
Yeah. PostSoft was a typical product company. They are struggling. They are doing quite good.
Yeah. Actually, they had very good
product.
Yeah, very good product kind of thing. I think, but midway it lost kind of thing. In midway it lost a little bit.
The reason was he joined politics and they lost the focus.
Yes, that is one of the reason, because he joined politics. Actually, he started this movie kind of thing also.
Yeah.
Where he wanted to build some product for the movie making. So what happens in the pre-production, what happens in the post-production, all that. So I was also part of that activity where
he is from the reputed family. His father used to be a Chief Justice of
yes.
High Court of Andhra.
Yes. And during
Palam Srikanth Reddy.
Yeah, during COVID days, he passed away.
He
very
had into health
yes.
and passed away.
Yeah.
He joined elections, contested against Jagamohan Reddy, all that happened.
Yes, yes.
Mallika, we are for another 5 minutes. Let's wait for 5 minutes more and start doing.
Yep, we can wait for 5 minutes.
Ramakrishna was the...
Yes. Ramakrishna was a person when I joined. He left, Ramakrishna left, and then I was the person who took over from there.
Ramakrishna, his wife used to work for which company?
Yes.
Mallika,
RK was,
testing
RK was
company where
the
Prasanna works. What is the company? Not Prasanna. Recently we had our conference.
Okay.
Krishna Praveen company ఏంటి?
Krishna Praveen, I don't know. Krishna Praveen, I don't know.
Company
Virtusa,
Virtusa.
sir.
Ramakrishna's wife used to work in Virtusa Begumpet office. They had an office in Begumpet. They used to work there. But later, I don't know. I think Ramakrishna, I think, has left for years, I think.
Yes, yes. He moved to Cognizant. Yeah, that's what. Last. So everything circles back.
I know that life is a full of meet people at different points, go back and come back again.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
I think we'll wait till 4:10 and start the program, Harish.
Yeah. Mr. Prasanna, a brief introduction about yourself would also help.
So, actually, I was having some issue with my headphones. Got sorted now. So I have got around 18 years experience, and I started my career in Lanco. That was for 1 year, and then IntelliGroup it was called at that point of time. Now later on it changed its name, or rather it got acquired by NTT. IntelliGroup, I was there for four plus years, and that is where I did my Six Sigma green belt from Heightspin, say 15 years back. And then I moved to Cognizant. From Cognizant, I moved to Wipro, and then finally in Genpact. And I'm in Genpact almost since past 8 years.
Oh, that's
So, yeah, so that's my kind of experience from a quality. So you asked a very interesting question, Malika, and Harish gave a pretty concise, good answer. But I also wanted to kind of add to that basis my experience in this field. So
Please.
although I started in quality, and but there were various changes from quality to risk management to again quality in Wipro, and then in Genpact. But in Genpact, it was more like a digital transformation. So while we were still in quality, we got into digital transformation. So the accounts that we were handling, we were supposed to kind of transform them. We were supposed to liaise with say a robotic process automation team. Now, as we speak, GenAI is the core aspect. It's kind of pretty much there in the market. So kind of propagating GenAI and all that. So and then of course while we work in Genpact, it is more about the lean and Six Sigma culture that is pretty much predominant over here. So that is my experience, Malika.
Actually, now I see Mr. Hari. Okay, before I open a question, actually, I would like to take this forum or opportunity to let Harish Garu and Prasanna also note that every month Heightspin is having knowledge sharing sessions on the third Saturday.
Got it.
We are thankful to you that you have taken this opportunity to share your experience with us. But we request going forward also, we request you to participate, either you or one or two of your team members, to participate in these knowledge sharing sessions and make it successful. Actually, we see Hari Garu from, Signity, and Rajsekhar Garu from Satyam joining us. I do not know about the others. I see one lady, new lady. I would request her to introduce herself. I see somebody by name Miss Prema. Madam, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Prema. I'm colleague of Harish and Prasanna. So I've joined this session just to understand the Einstein tool. I work with Harish and Prasanna.
Okay. Nice to know you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nice to have you in this forum too.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the case, and in case you have more case studies or something that you feel you should be sharing with the teams, kindly let us know and we can have it organized in one of the sessions. Prakash Rao Garu, is there something that you would like to add, sir?
What time we start the program? We are now another.
Yeah, another 3-4 minutes.
Yes, I think we should have 4:15 as the cutoff time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hari is joining?
Yeah, Hari Garu joined. Rajsekhar Garu joined. Good evening, Hari Garu, Rajsekhar Garu.
Yeah, good evening, madam. Good evening, madam. Good evening.
Harish, and Prasanna, one more question to you. We usually every industry, is coming up with new concepts and trying out new concepts. Like if you take AI today, everybody is talking or uttering the word AI and going gaga about it. And Genpact, as I have been hearing, and from you and from some more friends of mine that I have known, has embarked on digital transformation. So what exactly was the organization's goal when it said, okay, it took up digital transformation as a goal for the organization?
Prasanna, I'll go, Prasanna, and then you can put your view from your side also. Just correct me if there is any. Yeah. So
Sure.
basically, whenever we are talking about digital transformation, this is what I understood, because when we joined, basically, I think more or less me, Prasanna, and there is one more person also, Vinod, who joined back, now Genpact. So we all joined more or less a year kind of period. We started generally as delivery excellence kind of people, basically taking care of the CMMI kind of stuff. Later, what happened is we have something called Six Sigma also within the Genpact. So a period of time, like after we joined in 2012, and then a period of time, both the teams got matched. Basically, the delivery excellence and the black belt, basically Lean Six Sigma, got matched. So now it is the same person who is taking care of the delivery excellence and the same person who is taking care of the care of the LSS kind of thing. Later, what happened is this digital transformation or digital word came into the picture. And when we initially got to know about digital, what we were told or what we understood is within the customer landscape, we have this thing called we call it systems of record. Basically, that large ERPs, whatever we have, all that kind of thing we have. And we have the other word that we heard it is systems of engagement. Basically, this systems of record, whatever we are talking, the most of the transaction happens on that. But still, there is a lot of chunk of work that comes out of the ERP, it gets processed, and then goes back into the ERP. So that's a place where the digital digitization or digital thing got it into the picture. Wherever the data is coming out of the ERP, and then again the data is going back to the, it has to go back to the ERP. So this systems of engagement where there is a gap kind of thing, because if you see ERP to ERP, they are talking, or between there is a gap kind of thing, or those places. So they came with the small apps kind of thing, like when we are talking about the invoices. So basically the invoice processing kind of thing, where in Genpact a lot of process happens on the invoice related kind of stuff. So basically, the invoice comes to us as a kind of a paper copy kind of thing, where that paper copy gets sent out on the system, all that kind of thing, manually kind of thing. There are the scanners that got into all the extraction, all that got into the thing. So it is all, end of the day, whether we call it digital transformation, it was all looking at the end user experience, or from Genpact point of view, improving the productivity, giving the benefit back to the customer. So this is what we understand or we see in Genpact kind of thing. Maybe Prasanna, you want to add?
No, I totally agree, Harish. And just to add on top of it, see, we are all quality professionals. So while we are in quality, we delve a lot deeper into data. So while we talk about data, while we work with data in a big way, it's a normal transition, I would feel, from a data, getting baseline to a data coming up as a solution. And all this is kind of facilitated by the AI, the machine learning tools and all. And while we look at the market, while we look at the IT industry overall, there is a lot of intervention of all these tools, the Gen AIs, the machine learning algorithms and all that, which is a normal, natural process, I would say. And while this is coming in, I feel the Six Sigma team, the quality team is a natural recipient of this responsibility, and they are the ones who kind of own it up, take it up into their uh, scope of work, and while they look at the customer's business objectives, transform them, translate them into areas of improvement, it is but obvious that they have to take help of these tools to uh, you know go into the next step and create a roadmap out of it, wherein a very important constituent element would be the machine learnings, the AI and all that, and which is what we are doing in Genpact in a pretty big way.
Mallika, I think we'll formally start the program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Harish, and thanks, Prasanna, for helping us understand how Genpact has taken up digital transformation. Yeah, I think we will start the session.
Okay.
2299 plan, but our Netflix is not working.
Mallika, shall I go ahead?
Yeah, 1 second.
Introductions, little bit.
So a formal welcome to all this evening, and today we have with us Mr. Harish and Mr. Prasanna from Genpact. Prakash Rao Garu, could I request you to open the session, sir? Yeah, with a brief introduction of the topic and the speakers, please.
Good evening, all the people who have come to the third session of this year, which we are conducting every third Saturday of the month. We are very much thankful to both Prasanna and Harish to accept our request to start the program. A brief introduction about Harish. Harish is the AVP Dean Digital Transformation Tech Services of Genpact. He has 20 plus years experience, IT service industry, worked on various consulting engagements ranging from process optimization to transformative initiatives, employing a structured assessment methodology. He specializes in crafting and implementing innovative AI, ML, RPA digital solutions, harnessing the power of Lean, Six Sigma, design thinking principles. Currently supports large engagement on the transformation journey as a part of lean digital transformation agenda. About Prasanna, he is a senior manager, Genpact Technologies Private Limited. He has overall 18 years experience in IT service industries, currently working as a Six Sigma Black Belt and as a part of the lean digital transformation team catering to championing process improvements and digital transformation across technology service accounts. Prior to Genpact, he has worked with Lanco Global, Intel Group, currently NTT, Cognizant, and Wipro in quality assurance and digital transformation. Certified Six Sigma Black Belt from Wipro Technologies, holds a data science certification from Jigsaw Academy, and is a certified safe agilist. About the topic, usage of Ticket Einstein in implementing data analytics as a part of digital transformation and Six Sigma culture in Genpact Technology Services. Objective of session is to explain the tool capabilities and its usage in implementing data analytics and bringing data as a solution in Six Sigma certification processes. Before I hand over to both Harish and Prasanna, surprisingly, I know them maybe for the last 15, 16 years. I'm glad that they are back to the Hidespin to share their knowledge. Thank you, Harish and Prasanna. Hand over to you.
Thanks, sir.
Control is with you. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks so much, sir, for the great introduction. We are happy to be back with you. I think there were a couple of points. I think we either visited Hidespin sessions, and they were very knowledgeable, and we had a chance to give one session long back, I think 7 or 8 years back, kind of thing. It is very happy to be back at home, kind of thing. All the senior people and somewhere the other place we all interacted once or more, kind of thing. Okay, so the way we want to take the session today is like mentioned, this is about a tool, homegrown tool within the Genpact. We want to walk through that tool. Before we walk through the tool, we want to talk about the challenges that we have while we perform our role. We call it the quality team in Genpact, we call it LDT, Lean Digital Transformation Team. So as a team, what kind of challenges we have, what kind of interaction we have with the delivery flows, and how we came up with this tool and how this tool can help the delivery teams and also help our clients. We'll be talking about this thing, and now Prasanna will show the tool, how to do the navigation or a kind of a sample. And I don't say it is a full-fledged demo kind of thing, because it is a kind of a limited thing we are trying to show in a short time kind of thing. So it will be very high level, so you have to bear with us. But we will try to convey the use case point of view. What is a functional use case or the problem that we are trying to solve? That message we will try to able to link by the end of this session, myself and Prasanna. Then we will open up for some question answer kind of thing, where we can have some questions for you, and then we can answer whatever we can answer kind of thing. And if there is anything later, we can take it offline kind of thing.
Sure.
One more thing is the version right now, whatever we have, the tool has been, I think, released 2 days back kind of thing. So it is still not at a stable kind of thing. The tool is being continuously being added kind of thing, features and all that. So this new version has to be thoroughly tested and all that. But what we thought is we will still go ahead and share whatever we have, because it is a kind of a knowledge sharing kind of thing. We need not to have something very stable kind of thing. That's what we thought. The intention is different, so let us go ahead kind of thing. We thought we will go with the new version rather than the old version. We'll be able to share more information back to you kind of thing. This is what we have planned next 45 minutes kind of thing. Prasanna, anything you want to add?
No, absolutely, you pretty much covered. I just wanted to thank Hidespin as an organization and Rao sir especially for the great intro, and it's a pleasure being part of this session. So for the next 1.5 hour or so, we will try to make it as productive as possible. And just a quick insight about this tool from a historical perspective. Since past 3.5 years, apart from the normal Six Sigma methodology that we are having, another area we wanted to foray into is, and we all know in Six Sigma, we use data as a baselining mechanism and to evaluate the, process improvement, statistically, how significant that improvement has been and all that. So that's what we do. But then adding to that, why not use data as a solution? That was the premise behind, creating this tool. And this tool has greatly helped us. And one of the reasons why we got into the natural language processing part of it, which is a major constituent element of this tool, is because while we were using the data for creating these prediction models and all that, a few project managers came to us and said, hey, while you create these prediction models, why not use the free-flowing text data in the form of a short description in an incident? So what I'm talking about is from a managed services kind of an account, in an incident management perspective, wherein we deal with L1, L2, L3 help desks. And especially in an L1 help desk, while we get the incidents through incident management tools such as ServiceNow or Remedy, we get a lot of free-flowing text. And while we use these categorical elements in a much more broader context, when we talk about the free-flowing text data, it was not much used. And we got a lot of inputs and insights from the project managers, that from the delivery side. They were saying, hey, can you use this free-flowing text because it contains a lot of information? Is where we started, delving deeply into, hey, can we create a tool which does not give us the headache of creating the code, writing the code and all that. Rather, we just use the data, throw the data into the tool, so to say. And what we get in a few seconds is a volumetrics, a prediction model, a topic modeling kind of an output, which becomes very useful and informative for the stakeholders, including the clients. Right. So that was the premise. And that's what, Harish, I thought I'll quickly add before, getting into the how the tool functions. Harish, do you want me to share the screen? I have a.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Share it. So while Prasanna shares, like Prasanna mentioned, the objective. See, basically, we always try to look at the categorical data. We do a lot of analysis of the categorical data. When I say categorical data, especially, again, I'll step a little bit back kind of thing. The whole thing that we are going to talk about is the support. If you have a support kind of a engagement, we have a lot of ticket data kind of thing. How do we analyze that ticket data? In Genpact, we have something around 40 to 50% of the engagements are support kind of nature, where they generate a lot of tickets. And we have to analyze the tickets and try to get some actionable insights and all that. So that usually happens, I think, mostly in your organization or anywhere it happens is you take the data, you put it in Excel, and you try to analyze the categorical columns kind of thing. Like, okay, what is the how many, which is the highest contributing configuration item, which is the category, which is the assignment group, all that we do. Like Prasanna said, here what we are trying to do is we are trying to build the power. First thing is the categorical data holds only 20% of the information. 80% of the information is has, I think somebody has to unmute. So 80% of the information lies in the text. That is general this thing kind of thing. So we wanted to take the power of the text that we have, whatever the insights that are coming from the text, and also we want to take the power of the categorical data insights and combine the both and then see what it shows kind of thing. That's all. Prasanna.
Sure. Quick request to the audience is to go on mute if possible, because it'll help us conduct this session much better. Thank you. So what I have done, and if you're all able to see my screen, I get a chat. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm showing you now currently is a ServiceNow kind of a dump for one of the accounts. What I have done is I've removed the names of the clients and users and all that, just for the data security purpose. And I have also slightly modified this data to suit to our current demonstration of how the tool works. So each line item of this is a particular incident that comes from a end user, wherein they raise from a application perspective, whether they are facing some kind of laptop issues or printer issues or iPad issues, something like that. So each of the line item is an incident. What I have done is I have added a metric to this to add some value to this data. And the metric is called a first call resolution, or FCR. We can use it interchangeably. I'm sure most of us know in this call what FCR is. But just to reiterate, when an incident comes into a L1 help desk or a service desk, right? So the moment it comes, it gets assigned to a particular agent and it gets resolved at the help desk itself within a certain span of time. It is supposed to be FCR met. Okay. And if it is not resolved in the help desk due to various issues, might be the incident doesn't belong to this help desk, or the issue at hand is much more complex and it ought to be resolved at an L2 or an L3 kind of a level, and there are multiple reassignments that are happening to that incident, it kind of hops to various help desk, is where the FCR is not met. I have seen in my experience various accounts through their SOW, statement of works, they have a contractual requirement for a certain percentage of FCR to be met. Say sometimes it is 80, sometimes it is 85% or more, right? As an where the way a certain account team works and all that, and the requirement from the respective client, right? So the particular data is about how we created analysis using the Ticket Einstein tool for an FCR data. Now there are some added inputs that I have taken. I have taken a subcategory, I have taken a category of that incident, I have taken the priority configuration item, and then to showcase the efficacy of the tool from a text or a natural language processing perspective. And while I was talking about a free-flowing text, right, is where I took short description as an inherent input. And so this is the data we will use. This is a sample data. There are around 999 incidents we will be working upon while I'll try to demo this tool. So let me close this Excel and straight away show you how the tool looks like. Now, this is an EXE tool. Basically, we have to, so in my previous experience, I have used Python coding or R coding to develop small applications which do certain predictions, which do certain, text analytics or categorical analytics and all that. Now, this tool, the best part about this tool is anybody can use it. When I say anybody, anyone who has or doesn't have the experience of coding on Python or R or any data science related subject or software, the only thing that he or she has to do is just click on browse files. They have an option to and the data that I have shown, I'm just going to upload it inside. There is still a bit of background. Okay. So the moment I upload the data into the tool, since Excel can have multiple worksheets, it basically asks which worksheet we want to do an analysis on, is where, I pick sheet 1, and that is the only sheet we've got for this particular data set. As Harish was mentioning, we are continuously upgrading this, if I can say that, upgrading this tool. Initially, it was helping us with volumetrics and semantic analysis and all that. Now there is a very nice capability of process mining also. Positively, time permitting, Harish will take us through that. While I delve into the incident or the categorical analysis perspective. Now it asks me from a text data perspective, the free flowing data, which input I want to enter. I go for the short description. From our side, can we mute?
No,
Harish,
Prasanna, I have tried, but I'm not able to mute Prasanna. I think Malika Garu, you can do. Can you mute Srinivas?
Okay, great. I think it is done. So thanks for that, Malika. So what I have done is I have entered the short description, which is the free flowing text in the text data segment under categorical data. And pretty much everyone knows what is categorical data, but a column comprising of a finite set of possibilities, say from a priority perspective, high, medium, low, or critical priorities, or an assignment group, or a configurable item, which has got a finite set of inputs inherent into it. So I will add subcategory, I will add category here, I will add priority, and I will add configuration item. These 4 I will add here. Then it asks me, do we want to do this analysis for a certain period within the data or overall? So I'll rather go for overall, since there are only 999 elements. And then from a categorical or binary target data, it's nothing but the metric we want to ascertain or do an analysis upon. So I'll select the FCR. And if you remember, when I showed you the data, the first column, which is basically an FCR met in case the incident is resolved at the help desk versus an FCR not met when the incident is not resolved in the help desk, but has to be moved to some other help desk for that incident to get resolved, right? So that is the basic inputs I have taken. Now, the moment I hit on proceed, while I enter all these details, the right side of the screen gets enabled. These 3 lines on the ribbon, red ribbon, these are the various capabilities of the tool. So one, we have the descriptive modeling, then we've got predictive modeling, we've got topic modeling, and then we've got process mining as well. Within the descriptive modeling, we have volumetrics, text semantics, text sentiment analysis, and data profiling. So let me go to the volumetric modeling. And while I showcase this, I will also add some tidbits of how I am using it. And Harish, I'll request you, Prema, I'll request yourself also, in case you want to basically suggest in what ways this tool is getting utilized. But from my side, only yesterday, I had a discussion with one of my account teams, wherein for their data, I was, and there is a workshop that is upcoming in a month's time. And we are using this data to ascertain whether we can create certain automation, certain self-service, certain self-help or self-heal kind of a mechanism using this data as a basic input. What I mean by that is, when I'll rather go to the category and start from there. So if you look at the category, there are various kinds of category, and within a quick jiffy, I get all the details. So if I'm a project manager or a delivery leader, I want to have a quick look as to, what kind of incidents are kind of, getting serviced at my help desk. I see that support category has around 40% of the incidents, failures are 19%, data related, 11%, and so on and so forth. So I get a quick picture of, how my incidents are categorized. I also have a bar chart option wherein I get a quick picture of how many incidents from a volumetric perspective belong to each category. If I go to subcategory, which is one level down the category chart, I can get within the categories what kind of subcategories exist that we service in the help desk. We've got user assistance as the top category, followed by function or feature not working, data or file incorrect, and all. So during the fact beginning of the year, what we do, and I'm sure everyone in this call, they do a similar exercise. We do a data analysis to start with to find areas of improvement. And this tool gives us the kind of leverage in understanding the data, and basically with the understanding of data, understanding of the process performance and the areas of inherent improvement, right? So I see the volumetrics. I see from a priority perspective how the volumes are divided. So here I can see that 84% of the volumes are from the low priority perspective, and similarly configuration items, how the overall volumes are kind of divided. Pretty simplistic, but then pretty useful. And in my experience, this has been used to understand, hey, if I want to do a volume reduction or an incident reduction kind of a thing, where do I start from, right? I want which areas do I kind of go deeper into and try to create an automation or a self-help or a self-heal kind of a mechanism. Now, the next part is the target column. So if you remember, we had created a column called FCR, met and not met. Met, again, I'll keep reiterating this. Met is something which is resolved at the first help desk itself. And not met is something which is not resolved at our help desk, so it goes to various other help desks to get resolved. And collaterally, if you see, one of the collateral impacts of this is whenever it is not met in our help desk, but it gets to some other help desk, it will have a direct implication on the overall resolution time of that incident also. So, and therefore the accounts teams have, as an SOW inclusion, some percentage of FCR to be met as part of a monthly exercise. And if you see over here, only 60% of the times the FCR is getting met. So this again channelizes a black belt like me to help the delivery team understand, hey, can we do an FCR optimization this year as a black belt project or a green belt project, so to say. Moving on, another area wherein I can do a basic statistical evaluation is from a bivariate categorical data. So what I can do over here is, and this was one of the asks from one of the delivery leaders recently. He told me, hey, you're giving me this analysis. What if I want to understand within a category, what kind of subcategories are inherently contributing to the volumes is where this kind of a bivariate analysis helps me. So if you see here, and let me kind of reverse column 1 as category and column 2 as subcategory. What I see over here is the top column or the top category, which is sourcing the most number of volumes, is the support. And within the support, what I see is there are, there is a subcategory called user assistance. Based on the color coding, I can understand that, which is contributing the most from a volumes perspective. Now, if I have to look at the failures, for example, and if I hover my cursor over this failure bar chart, I see that function of feature not working again takes the major chunk of 162 incidents within failures also, and so on and so forth. So I take an insight about the bivariate analysis through it, and then I can basically not only limit it to category or subcategory, I can look at from a priority or a configuration item perspective, and inherently look at, say, from a low priority, what are those top categories that are contributing to my volumes. Moving on, this is pretty important from my perspective, because this gives me a target, which is the metric in question versus the categorical variable. So if I want to understand FCR mets versus an FCR not met. The inherent metric that I want to improvise as part of this project, especially from a not met perspective, which are those areas which are the major sources of FCR not met, say from a category, subcategory, priority or configuration item. So I go to say category. Once I go to category, it basically shows me that the support kind of category inherently has the most number of FCR not met. So it kind of channelizes me to do a causal analysis and find out areas of improvement, automations and all that from the support perspective or the support category. Similarly, I can do a exercise for say taking priority or a configuration item into perspective. Moving on, we also have something called a sunburst chart. Now, if you look at the sunburst chart, it's a multivariate kind of an analysis it will enable. If you look at the top half of the chart and the bottom half of the chart, the mid section has the inherent metric that we want to evaluate further, met versus a not met. Now I'll click on this interactive chart. It further kind of drills down into, say, from a met perspective, what are those categories and subcategories that are, part of the met. So you've got user assistance, you've got support, you've got data failures and all that. Now, more importantly, if I want to channelize my analysis towards the not mets, so which are those areas wherein mostly I'm failing to resolve the end user incidents is where I'll get an answer over here. So from a failure perspective and within failures, which is the category, function or feature not working, which is the subcategory, I'm having these many, incidents which are not getting serviced due to various reasons. And then taking this as an insight or an input, I will go to the next level, say a value stream mapping to understand a particular area of concern and try to resolve it, which has got a major impact on my overall service desk. Right. So what I'm doing over here is trying to reduce. So on a monthly basis, we get say 5,000 to 6,000 to 8,000 incidents. Now, how do I look at those top sources of incidents and channelize my analysis towards those? So this tool helps me do that. And then we've got a very interesting, correlation summarization. We've got two the basic premises to do that. One is through a Kramer's association versus a Thiel's association. The Kramer's association, the good part about this tool is it explains. It's based on the chi-square, correlation versus a Thiel's, which is more from a, uncertainty or inequality kind of a thing. I'll not go deeper into it basis the time we've got. But if I want to help you understand what is the basic, what's in it for the delivery team or what's in it for the user of this tool perspective, it helps me understand what is the correlation between the various categorical elements and the categorical versus the metric in question. For example, if you see, obviously a category and a subcategory will have a high correlation, but what from a FCR versus a configuration item. So it's got a good 81% correlation, which means that if I want to understand FCR more definitively and as to why it's meeting or not meeting or achieving its numbers, I would rather delve first into the configuration item perspective. I'll rather go deeply into it and try to ascertain what are those primary areas of concern and try to, resolve them through a causal analysis and resolution. Also, for all these, analysis, I have got a download option so that in case I want to make a chart out of it and all that. So in one of the accounts that I'm pretty much part of, I have a regular weekly cadence with the client. And I keep showing him these analysis. Hey, can we do this kind of a, project, this kind of a automation and all that. And showing the data pretty objectively, it becomes very easy for myself, the delivery leader, as well as the client to make those objective decisions pretty easily because it's all based on the data and their process performance only. Right. So And one more quick thing I wanted to add, while I brought in the client into this discussion, one of the areas of concern, and I'm sure all of us in this call pretty much agree to this concern, is the data security. And in this era of data as a fuel, right, or as an oil, we see data getting misused either advertently or inadvertently several times. Is where this tool, we have got it audited from our infosec team, and it has got a 5-star rating, which means that this tool is pretty much secure while it gets deployed onto the client landscape or usage of client data on a Genpact landscape also. Just wanted to add that. Harish, I'll move to the text semantics, but before I do that, do you want to add anything to the volumetrics part?
No, Prasanna, please continue.
The next part I will come to is the text semantics analysis, and one of the major usages of this tool is through the text semantics, because if you look at tools such as ServiceNow, Remedy, and all these incident management tools, you pretty much have all these categorical charts, these bar charts, these pie charts coming up and giving you the analysis on the trot. But what about usage of free text data to give you an evaluation? Hey, what kind of process performance is happening from a textual input, is where the text semantics helps us quite a bit. The first thing, of course, is the word cloud. In some areas, I found it to be very useful. In other areas, might be I kind of just skip it. But in a quick perspective, and as we all know, a word cloud helps us understand basis the font size of each word. Say, for example, client name or person account or user laptop or access and all that. The usage of the words that are as part of the description of a particular incident, right? So the more the usage of a particular textual word, the bigger will be the font size in a word cloud. And the science behind it is pretty simplistic. What the natural language processing algorithm does is, it will evaluate the free text flowing, and it will use a certain methodology called tokenization. So each string or each word becomes a token, and basis it becoming or translating into a token, it kind of is converted to a number, and then that number is basically utilized for a text analytics, right? And that is the science behind this. One more very interesting text analysis that we do is something called an n-gram analysis. So we all know here what is a Pareto, right? 80-20 kind of a rule. What if I try to enable a de facto Pareto by usage of free text data? Is might be the most simplistic explanation of this trigram analysis, wherein and by the way, it's a unigram, bigram, trigram capability, but I'll just go to the trigram. So when you look at the trigram and I hover my cursor on this particular chart, you would see various three-word evaluation. Say ggcat person account unable, pending equipment return, so on and so forth, with a certain number in front of it. What it basically helps me understand is the usage of a particular word being used more recurrently in my as part of my incident management, right? So, and what I can take out of this is what kind of incidents are emanating from the service desk, and can we do something about it? For example, a person account is an account creation. So people working in a service desk will pretty much easily grasp it. A pending equipment return is, say, for a person who's leaving the agent job or the end user job and moving out of this particular landscape. So an equipment return happens, and so on and so forth. We also have a unigram, which is of course a one-word evaluation of this analysis, right? And a bigram is a two-word kind of a thing. So obviously more the merrier, right? So is why we go for a trigram, wherein we have a 3-word evaluation, and basis that we can take the maximum out of it. Now, in a quick jiffy, and as we know, the delivery leaders don't have much time. So, hey, what can I take out of it in a quick jiffy is where the key observations come into the picture. The top 5 most repeated words, the top 5 least repeated words is something that I can, quickly draw out and might be kind of discuss, hey, can we do something about an account creation or a password reset? Kind of a thing. Can we automate it? Can we enable self-service? Can we enable a self-heal kind of a mechanism? So on and so forth. Moving on, we saw a bivariate analysis, a multivariate analysis using Sunburst. But how about mixing and matching a categorical analysis with a textual analysis, right? And I'll explain you how that happens. Say I go for a category Sunburst. And within the category, I am interested to understand from a failure perspective, which is pretty huge chunk. I go deeper into failure, and I see that account creation happens to be one of the top areas of concern or a top area of incident getting created from a categorical perspective. So I'll do something about it. I'll think something about it. What if I go to the inquiry part? So equipment return is the top area. What if I go to the data part? So again, an account creation is coming from a data perspective. What if I go to an access part? So enable move back, right? Or move back folder or folder related. So when we talk about a folder in an access kind of a perspective, we are talking about an access to a particular folder, right? So those kind of evaluations we can do. So here, if you see, we are both using a categorical insight as well as we are using a textual insight, a free text. So the short description it is getting utilized here, as well as the categorical data point also is getting utilized. Now, finally, if I want to understand through an FCR trigram bar chart, what I will get out of this is from a met versus a not met perspective, what are those key areas from a free text perspective, which are contributing to my met or not met. So if I want to do a FCR improvement project, right, and I want to delve deeper into, hey, what are those primary areas wherein my FCR is failing most of the times? And if you see, this is at the most sub process level. Is where, say, for example, pending equipment return happens to be a major source of we not meeting the FCR. So might be the next thing I'll do is call some subject matter experts from that area who handle these kind of incidents, try to reason with them, hey, can we come out with some kind of automation in this area, right? So that is where I will be utilizing semantic analysis. It is purely using a machine learning algorithm called natural language processing, right? So again, I'll stop here for a minute. I'll pause. Harish, you want to add something to this discussion?
No, pretty much, Prasanna, you are covering. I think we can move.
Okay. Quickly, I'll move to the sentiment analysis. I'll not go very deeper into the sentiment analysis because it makes much sense to do an evaluation or usage of this tool from a sentiment perspective for customer satisfaction data, right? So that you'll understand when an end user, how he or she is rating our service desk or our services that we are rendering, right? So, no, but I'll help you understand in a quick fix way what is the basis of the sentiments. So when you look at this tool, say I upload a CSAT data at an incident level or at a CSAT input level, I will get a particular sentiment. It might be a neutral sentiment, it might be a positive sentiment, it might be a negative sentiment. And what is the basis of this tool ascertaining this sentiment is absolutely through a objective insight. right? So it uses something called a compound score, right? So if the compound score is greater than 0.05, it happens to be a positive kind of an intent. Between 0.05 and minus 0.05, it is supposedly neutral. Negative is below minus 0.05. But you would say, hey, this is all fine. But what is the real basis when you say that, the sentiment is negative? So in machine